DLC or downloadable content has been a staple and a significant part of Call of Duty for years, from adding new weapons to maps, and of course this format has had change over the years. Of course the transition from paid to free has sparked debate, but now I feel most of the content drops now are not that exciting. So much questions about is Call of Duty losing its identity, losing its fun, or if it's dying. So these are all really important questions and we will try to answer that and much more, also giving an in-depth guide of Verrukt and much more. And for today, I'll be taking you in a trip back in time to investigate the first ever zombie DLC. So thank you so much for clicking on the video, let's get into it. Before we get into the first zombie DLC, let's have some background. The first ever DLC has actually been in the original Call of Duty games from COD 1, 2 and 3, but we will still be starting at what many believe put COD on the map, DLC Variety Map Pack from COD 4 or Modern Warfare. So stay with me until we get into the zombies. We know how innovative and influential that game is. I mean, it started so much things that we still use today. Now, that first DLC supplied you 4 maps. Those 4 maps being Kill House, a personal favourite of mine, a small and chaotic map, one of them being Creek, and also Chinatown, which looks absolutely incredible and is a remake from the map Carrington from COD 2. Remakes have been around forever, and the last map is Broadcast, which features in the Charlie Don't Surf mission and has been remade in 2 other Call of Duties. Now, I just wanted to give some information because then in 2008, World at War came along. It seemed COD had perfected the World War II shooter. They of course had done it 3 times before, but many believe this was their best. But Modern Warfare was still a huge success and Treyarch needed something, and in came zombies. The creation of zombies cannot be understated. I mean, that's why I'm making this video. And we all know that NACT released on disc, locked away from completing the campaign until you crash your plane in a German bunker with a zombie running towards you. Now, I never experienced this, but if it was as scary as people say, I can really imagine it. Now, I do believe it's important to step into the shoes of those players. They weren't expecting this, and zombies became an extremely addicting side mode. It was a success and had so much love in this beginning, and paved the way for what would be the first zombie DLC. March 19th, 2009. New conflicts are on the horizon for Call of Duty World at War. We're pleased to introduce the contents of our first downloadable content pack, Map Pack 1 for World at War, which includes 3 multiplayer levels as well as an additional level for the ever popular bonus co-op mode, Nazi Zombies. This was a special time and a growth period for zombies, a period that could shape the nature of the mode. So what did it contain? Well, I guess that you knew Verrukt was going to be in there, so we'll start with there. Welcome to Wittenau Sanatorium, a German asylum with dark corridors, terrifying undead enemies and even darker secrets. And many believe that this is still the most terrifying map in the mode's history, so they nail the atmosphere and feeling. And I always say that the vulnerability that you feel playing Verrukt is incredible. We'll dive into more detail of Verrukt, but first the multiplayer maps. It contained 3 maps, one of them being Nightfire. Players take to the streets of a war-ravaged Berlin, with only the flames of the burning city to expose the enemy. And the crazy thing is, this map is Der Ries, which is so cool. The main selling point is the fact that it's dark and it was meant to be on disc, but they didn't have enough time. Secondly, Station. It offers a bombed out underground littered with hidden passageways and destroyed cars. And third, Knee Deep. Takes place on the island of Peleliu in a once tranquil village turned chaotic. Crazy thing is, I believe this has many assets taken from Shino Numa. And of course, Verrukt. Verrukt in German is crazy or insane, I believe, and after its beginning in World at War, it's appeared in Black Ops 1 and 3. What is your favourite version? I've heard many people say Black Ops 3. I'm not sure myself, but I do think the original is special. It is a Group 935 testing place and has appeared in also Revelations. Tank Dempsey, John Banana and Smokey and Paxton Gunner Ridge arrived in the 935 group testing facility located in the Wittenau Sanatorium in Berlin, Germany in 1945 to extract American spy Peter McCain to safety. They find it overrun by zombies and try to find the horde as long as they can. Now this is one of the most innovative maps in the franchise, bringing in perks and traps, something that will become a staple. Perks like Juggernaut, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, which was pretty useless in solo back in the day. Also having a unique spawn mechanic. If the map wasn't scary enough, you and your teammate are separated by 2 doors. 1 goal in mind, or 2 to get to the power and stay alive. The zombies also become much more aggressive, being able to hit through barriers. And the World at War zombies do seem to pull you in, and the infamous super sprinters that just add to the whole experience. They also added more weapons to force the undead back into their graves, such as the Bouncing Bettys, PPSH and STG, also the MP40. But if you spin the box too much, you'll get the teddy bear, the first time we ever saw this. There's not any major Easter eggs obviously, but I thought I'd mention the toilet Easter egg in Black Ops 3, as well as the radios that are very chilling actually, and shooting the wolf in the statue in Black Ops 3 gets the blood coming out of the fountain, and the Samantha Soros Easter egg, which is in almost all the Chronicle maps. Interacting with a dentist chair gives you a scream, and there are lots of sounds around, cries, blood smeared on the walls, creepy writing. It was just so much small details and love, like this Bible verse adding to the effect. Death has climbed in through our windows and has entered our fortress. Or for example, a German poster that translates to, all unattended children will immediately be sold to the circus. You can hear screams around the place, a mum and daughter crying near the furnace area, a boy crying in the power room. It really is one of the scariest maps. In fact, I made a video on the top 10 scariest maps, make sure to check that out. A small mention that above the mystery box it says, wish too often and your wishing well will run out, which is a reference to the teddy bear moving. Like, nowadays I feel maps just feel so boring, they blend into one another, and has COD really been losing its identity and slowly fading? The question of paid DLC or free DLC is a tough one. On one hand, people say if it's paid then they probably put more quality into it, which has some truth, but having all people available to play it is a great idea. It might sound simple, but the problem is good DLC, and this DLC that we have looked at is very good. Thank you so much for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, love all of you, goodbye.